Hello and welcome once again to the FwdCompatible podcast. This is episode 84, part 1 for September 15th, 2013. My name's Tony and I'm joined as always by my fellow podcasters Jason, Mark, and Masis.
The mic sounds really weird because this is like the first time in months we haven't had the air on. So like there's been a constant hum in the background and now there's not. And now I'm hearing Grandpa's TV and shit.
What's going on?
I'm like, I had to adjust the gain. I'm like, what is that?
It's creepy. It's silence.
Uh-huh.
Silence is what it is. How's everybody's week been?
Yeah.
Busy.
Nothing cool happened to anybody?
Nah, not really.
I had an interesting story on the way over here.
Oh God, here we go again.
Good Burger King?
No, but it involves another fast food chain.
No.
So,
He was supposed to bring me a fucking sandwich last night and he didn't.
Does it involve McDonald's?
it did. That's not my cup though. That's Mark's.
McDonald's.
So
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
me and
I'm loving it.
Jason live like 20 minutes apart, but we're both really close to this one street called Milwaukee Avenue here in Chicago.
I live on Milwaukee.
And I live a block and a half off it.
And I work on
That's
Milwaukee.
He's
exactly
really
what I'm
close
I work
to
on
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee.
I live on Milwaukee. My address is on Milwaukee Avenue.
Okay. So I take this street straight down here. And I pass like 4 McDonald's on the way here. So I stop. I get a Big Mac. I tell them light lettuce and heavy sauce. The Big Mac sauce, right? So I get my food. I pull out. And I'm making my way towards Jason's on Milwaukee. And then I pull the burger out. And they reversed it. They put extra lettuce and like no sauce. So I started getting upset in the car on the way over here. I was getting like really mad. I'm eating the fries, and then
Eating my troubles away.
then I saw the next McDonald's, and then my head started going. I'm like, let me try this.
Oh, God, no.
So I went inside. I didn't do because I didn't want to show my hand. So I just went in and I'm like. Because I only took one bite, and I'm like, I just got this burger from you guys. It has way too much lettuce and no sauce. So I'm like, can I just get a different Big Mac? So I actually had the one like a mile and a half away give me a Big Mac for the other one's fuck up.
That's awesome.
They're going to find you now. This is
They're
They're
public
gonna
knowledge.
stalk me.
For all McDonald's employees that are watching this podcast.
Yeah.
So
They're going to take you down.
I didn't know if you could do that, and it worked. The kid behind the counter didn't care. They're like, sure, here's a new Big Mac, dude.
It cost them, what,
Nothing.
Pennies.
30 cents?
Well, I didn't want to be like, no, I said it with this sauce and this, because then they'd have been like, no, I'd remember that order. I was just like, this Big Mac was made a little weird. Can I have a new one? And they were fine with it.
Did you say heavy sauce?
No, I didn't say anything. I'm just like, this burger's weird.
That was too risky. Do you always say heavy sauce and light lettuce?
Yes.
I mean, I understand, like, no lettuce. Or
They don't screw it up
Right.
often.
Light lettuce.
It's because I went to a different McDonald's today. There's literally 4 between mine and his house on
We
Milwaukee.
stopped at McDonald's on the way here.
Yeah. I passed the first one on Milwaukee and Oakton. Then I hit the one on what is that, Lawrence or something?
No,
And
Elston.
yeah, and then I switched it at Gale Street.
Okay.
So, whatever. It worked out well.
That's cool.
That was story time with Tony.
Ridiculous.
I was at the flea market today.
How did that venture go?
Well, it started raining.
Yeah.
And if you're ever at a flea market while it's raining, then they have what they call
Fire sale?
yeah, it's like a rain sale, whatever.
Like to get out of the rain? Here, take shit cheaper?
Yeah, because they're like, well, what the heck? We've only been here for an hour. Now it's raining.
Because they don't get refunds on their tables.
Yeah.
It's rain or shine.
So a woman had an NES. It was a little worn. It was like it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. I don't even know if it has all the plugs. And it has a copy of Ikari Warriors. Anyway, got it. She wanted $25 for it. I walked away, and then I came back about 10 minutes later when it started raining a little harder. And I said, I'll give you $15 for it. Best I can do is $20. All right, no thanks. I walk away. All right, $15.
So you scored an NES and a game. Did you have that game already?
Oh, yeah, it's common. It's like...
This is like his 30th NES.
Yeah. The thing is, I only had a 20. She's like, oh, if you only pull out a 20, I don't have any change. I open my wallet. All I got is a 20. I'm like, oh, all right, I'm sorry. Then she pulls out a stack of like cash, like this, thing. First bill there is a $5. Like she clearly had it. So I got an NES for $15.
Good for you, sir.
There's actually like a Genesis like third-party controller in there. It was like a crate of plugs and stuff in there. I have an AC adapter that I think is broken, but whatever. Add it to my library of overstock NES stuff.
What are you doing with all these NESs?
Well, I do sell them.
Okay.
Like when I buy lots and stuff, I keep what I have, and if I get like 4 copies of the same game, I'll take the one that's in the best condition. Make a new lot. And then the crappier, every time I get a game, I'll compare it to the one I have already of the same game, and I'll keep the better copy and sell off.
With the actual systems, how many do you have now?
Oh, I only have.
You had 4 when I was at your house.
Oh, those were gone. Those are gone. I got one here. I got one today. I got one in July when I went to that one. I got the one with the Rob the Robot box set. And I have mine, so I've got 4 right now.
Back up to 4 again.
Yeah, I'm at 4.
It's the
lucky
NES number.
When you saw 4, those were all just stacked up there. I actually had 6 because I had mine and the Rob the Robot, which those are I actually sort of used. Well,
you showed me Rob.
Yeah, it's a cool story.
Cool story, bro.
Bye.
All right. Well, I suppose we kick off the show with our weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
There was releases this week.
Yay!
So I played NHL and Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, let's go one at a time. How's NHL? Same.
About the same old, yeah. The new hitting is awesome, but they do this every few years where they add the hitting, then they add all these other things to make the hitting less cool. Then they go redo the hitting and.
How's NHL 94? That's not really NHL 94.
I didn't even play it.
Terrible.
No, I mean I played in the demo. That's all I'm ever gonna do. It's not.
Isn't
the
it pretty
same.
much just a different fucking
It's
overhead
ice.
view?
Overhead view, the
it's like
ice,
a different
and
camera
then they kind of jacked up like the hitting and stuff like that. And then also there's the fact that there's like less physics, so like you can just glide, stop on a dime, all that kind of stuff. And then no offsides, no icings, no penalties, stupid stuff like that.
What about Kingdom Hearts?
Kingdom Hearts is pretty good. There's this weird thing where I know they had said that Kingdom Hearts 1, like most of the assets had been lost over time. So there's certain things that you can tell that I don't think they even up-resed. And then there are certain things they definitely up-res. So it's literally like some of the easiest things are on the first island where there's like the wood planks. They're in like full HD, everything like that. And then it's next to a tree that you can obviously tell is from the PS2. Okay. Like, I don't know about like the leaves up top, but like the tree trunk, it's still blurry, everything like that. But it's a collection, whatever. I still a PS2 game.
A very similar experience. Well, all I've played this week is I got my early copy of Wind Waker. Mm-hmm. So I've been playing that and updating the guide at the website. And there's a lot of that where they up the res, it's HD.
And certain things they did, certain things they didn't. No,
it looks beautiful. And then actually, there's one thing I saw. There's behind one of the houses on Windfall Island. There's vines, and they're just flat vines. It's like to the point where you move your camera angle and it's
gone.
It's just
plain.
It's just like a piece of paper, the vines, and they just look awful. But the game does look good. It plays good.
Yeah, just over. like little things like that. I think there were more oversights. Do we spend an hour for this guy to redo a tree, a plane that's painted brown in your case? Yeah. But other than that, the gameplay's still solid. I don't know if this is like it's hard to remember back in the PS2 ones, but camera is very clunky still at times, but it's probably from the first one. They probably just didn't change anything with it. I love the fact that I can play a Kingdom Hearts game with 2 analog sticks. By the way, that's awesome. Finally, because there's been all the handheld ones with 1 and just not the same. You have to use the triggers, and when you use the triggers, I think it gets rid of like the hotkeys for your magic and stupid stuff like that. So
okay,
yeah, but so it's nice be back in Kingdom Hearts before the story got completely jacked up.
My girlfriend's actually a big Kingdom Hearts fan over there, so we might actually pick that up this week. Actually,
I would say a good price on it.
So
I mean, if it was $10 cheaper, it'd be
not
awesome.
Full price.
No, it's only $39.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Don't you wait? You're technically getting 2 games.
Two games and a movie.
One's like a movie, right?
Yeah.
It's basically the cutscenes from one game.
Yep.
Which is stupid. Why didn't they just give you the game?
I don't know. Square Enix, do you think they think ahead of anything?
I'm sorry, I should have thought that through before I asked.
Come on.
I should have thought that through before I asked that question.
They're barely a good company anymore.
It's
mediocre company now. I don't know. What do you consider?
They got Eidos.
You bought one good studio. Not doing anything else as far as I know. But yeah, that's what I play this week.
They're starting to...
They're remaking all the good stuff they made
They're remaking
years ago.
the wrong ones, like Final Fantasy X. I don't know why they're not doing 6 or 7 or 9.
It's probably older, where it would probably take more effort to remake it.
I think they're scared to make Final Fantasy VII because they should clearly do it. It's still on PSN, one like the top sellers week in and week out. Is the non-trophy digital version of that game that just, to download. If they were to remake that game, they would sell so many copies. But I think if they do, they're scared to live up to the hype of their own. You know what I mean? Like, if they mess up one little thing, like, I don't think they'd let them hear the end of it.
I really don't think. They could do it, like, using a Zelda example, that's what they did with, like, Ocarina of Time. Granted, it wasn't an HD remake, it was like a port to the 3DS with upgraded
They cleaned it up quite a bit.
Yeah, and I don't think there was no backlash.
But they did an excellent job with it.
Nintendo didn't even do it. It was a third party that did it. Or a second party, but...
No.
You're a second party.
Yeah, your face is a second party.
Yeah.
It's like a second party when you leave the first one because it's not that good, hoping the second one's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
It's sort of like the 2DS.
How about yourself, good sir?
Oh, like I said, all I played was Wind Waker HD, because working on the guide.
Is there anything different about it, or is it basically just the up-res? Do they add any missions or anything like that? New
minimal
stuff.
There's a hero mode now, like a higher difficulty, where enemies do double damage, and there's no recovery hearts anywhere in the game.
That'd make it hard.
Yeah. It's not actually. They had this in Skyward Sword, and actually Ocarina of Time 3D Master Quest, where the enemies do double damage and there's no heart drops and whatnot. But at least with Skyward Sword, that's how it was. But in this, it's not actually its own mode. It's just when you go to the title screen and you click your save file, like you've always done in Zelda games, you can just toggle like normal and hero mode.
So you could switch it back and forth throughout the entire course of the game.
Yeah,
that's kind of nice.
Yeah, I actually don't like it, actually. I'd rather,
I mean, it's just...
I actually wouldn't like that either. It's like, let me pick... If you want to have multiple save files going, fine. Have your hero mode and your standard mode going. But that's kind of cheap. It's like, this boss keeps messing me up. Let me lower the difficulty, then re-raise it as soon as I beat him.
I actually really like certain games that do this where it's almost like an adaptive AI where it realizes that you've died 5 times in the same part, and it scales down, your guns do a little bit more damage. I know certain games do this as well. It is nice because then you can still be playing the high difficulty. You're not stuck on one part forever, and you can move on.
Yeah. I hate when a lot of games are starting to do this now where when you're playing on a really hard mode and you die over and over and over, it'll ask you. Like, it seems like it sends you this message. Like, something like
try lowering the difficulty.
Yeah, try lowering the difficulty. It's like, you dick. I've like the thing can't think for its own. It's like, I already beat this game 6 times. I'm clearly playing on the hardest mode. I don't want to drop it down to normal. I beat it on normal. God of War is like one of the biggest offenders of that. It's like, I beat this game on normal.
They annoy you with that because like it pauses
now I'm trying to play it on hard mode.
Yeah.
Stop asking me every 5 deaths if I want to lower the difficulty. No, I beat it on normal.
It would be better if they said, "Wow, you really suck." I mean, do you want to try this?
You're ridiculously bad at this game. You should probably drop the difficulty.
Do you realize over the last hour you've progressed less than 3%?
No, but a lot of the changes they made in Wind Waker was just polishing up the flow of the game, I should say.
Okay.
I don't know if did you play the Wind Waker?
No.
Did you play the Wind Waker?
The original?
Yeah. Okay. There's parts in the game that are a little tedious, I'd say. The sailing is a little too slow, so now they added a brand new item. It's called the Swift Sail, where it just goes like 4 times as fast as your regular sail, and it automatically changes the wind when you move it, so it just saves time.
Yeah.
And then there's this like large, very long fetch quest at the end of the game that they
hate them fetches.
They basically completely change that, where it's just drastically reduced in terms of...
I actually do remember hearing about that in an article where it was like one of the biggest complaints about the last quest. It was fetching for...
You basically have to go and find these charts, then you have to go to an island and get them deciphered for all these... Now, a lot of the... instead of giving you a chart and then you going to get a reward for it, they just give you the reward instead of the chart.
Traveling back.
So it just cuts time. I mean, it's okay. There's a few other minuscule differences, but it's a HD remake. It's nothing. It's not anything.
Yeah, you're not going to experience anything too crazy, right?
At least I reworked it a little bit in some ways to hopefully make it better.
Have you beat it again already?
I haven't completed it yet. I'm pretty far along.
Because you got to do every nook and cranny for your
yeah,
review,
I'm doing
right?
the guide, so I, you know.
Yeah, you have to do stuff over and over and over. Right?
Tedious.
Just in time, good sir. What'd you play this week?
Nothing.
Oh, wait, Plants vs. Zombies?
Plants vs. Zombies.
Angry Birds?
And some Injustice on my iPad.
You're gonna be awesome come get into your time.
I haven't had time, man. I've had stuff going on. Stuff and things.
And stuff.
Stuff and things.
All right, Rick.
All right, as for my...
Game of the year is gonna be...
Injustice.
Probably.
Plants vs. Zombies.
Really quick, I'll take a second to talk about it. Injustice on the iPad actually does something really cool. So I don't know if it's weekly or bi-weekly, but they do challenges. You have 5 days to complete 5 tiers to unlock a special character. The first one was Zod. The second one was
General
Batgirl.
Zod.
And the third one was Deathstroke from the Red Sun storyline. So that's kind of cool. They're giving you special characters by doing these, and it kind of changes up the dynamic of how the game plays.
Rock on.
I play that more than I play the console version.
As for myself,
Nobody cares.
I played Call of Duty 2 on Veteran. I got stuck on it like a year and a half ago and put it down and popped it back in to be like, where did I get stuck again?
Where were you?
Is it,
Call of Duty 2 is amazing.
that's a PS2 game, isn't it?
No.
That
Xbox 360.
was
Oh, that was a
launch
launch
title.
game. That was a launch game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still one of my favorite campaigns Call of Duty's ever done.
Yeah, it's really good.
How does it hold up? Like, is it feel extremely dated?
No, it's just weird because like Modern Warfare changed Call of Duty. There's 2 Call of Duties. There's prior to Modern Warfare and after Modern Warfare. Now they're the same thing. Like the buttons, the kill streaks, the
Right. Yeah.
the
So
loadouts, the
1 and 2 are
weaponization. Everything's the same because Modern Warfare standardized the series. Before that, everything was different. Like even Call of Duty to Call of Duty 2 to Call of Duty 3 are
3
different.
was the worst god-awful piece of junk ever.
It's a bad game.
It's a bad game.
It's a bad
1 was probably the most amazing one in the whole series.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm stuck at the very end. I'm already on the American campaign. I'm in DJ because there's the Russian.
Point to Hawk.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am.
Point to Hawk's amazing.
And
Spell that.
POINTEDUHOC.
Suck on that.
It's probably
Yeah.
probably wrong, but none of us.
No, I'm
know.
pretty sure it's right. You can check me on it. Please do.
I
Pretty sure I'm going to say it. I know there is a
I would have to pick up that phone.
accent mark on one of the letters. Let's go with that. I believe it's an E.
So anyway, about the third of 3 campaign sections. Like I said, I put it down a long time ago because I'm really close to beat that game on Veteran, and I was just like, I died 4 or 5 times, and I'm like, ugh, I remember why I put this game down, and then I stopped.
Veteran, yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah,
It's
on any.
really hard.
How many episodes you been on, Moss?
Blueberries.
How many episodes?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know,
Ballpark.
12?
And you haven't learned to mute your phone?
I don't know how to.
It's too complicated.
This one.
Did you get a new screen again?
Yes, I fixed it. Oh,
Hey,
wait, I
where
think
at?
it's muted. All right.
Okay.
It's like the day Tony had his tablet. The bloop, bloop, bloop.
I replaying Resistance 2. I kind of felt like going back. I beat Resistance 1 again, so I'm going through that series. And I got 2 new games this week. I got Killzone Mercenary.
How do you like it?
It's fucking awesome.
One of your favorite Vitas?
Probably
Close to it?
Probably that and Uncharted are my 2 favorite games. They really did do it. You could believe the hype. They made it perfect. It's an awesome playing, awesome feeling. Functions real well. Looks amazing. It's probably the best looking Vita game. They did an amazing job with it. Hopefully it's still going, right?
No, it's still going. It's just the screensaver. I just walked in front of the camera.
Yeah, all the previews, all the reviews, you could believe the hype. They did an amazing job with that
I
game.
haven't set it up yet, so I apologize.
And then
New computer this week.
and I also grabbed Puppeteer, which is
Puppeteer?
it's
I
the
like pooping.
PS3 exclusive out of Studio Japan that came out this past week. That is the most unique platformer I've ever played in my life. It is.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it an awful lot right now.
No one picked up Rayman Legends too, right?
No.
No, I didn't pick it up.
It's another one I was interested in. But yeah, no, go on, please.
Yeah, it's the whole thing in the event. You haven't heard of it, which I wouldn't blame you if you haven't, because this thing getting like no coverage, and
No,
it's a shame because the game's gonna sell like dog shit.
We touched base on it like well over 6 months ago February. When they showed the little sizzle thing,
They had three trailers. They had that,
Yeah.
Rain, and one other game that was coming.
I believe that was the last time that it even was on my radar.
And nobody's talking about this game. It's unfortunate. It's going to sell like maybe 200,000 copies. So it's going to
Is
go.
it a full price game?
yeah.
It's $40.
$40.
Oh, is it 40?
Yeah. But essentially, you're this little character, and you have no head. So there's heads scattered throughout the world, which you collect, and there's like almost like that little I can't think of his name in Alice in Wonderland. That little cat that pops up.
Cheshire Cat.
There you go. And you essentially have one of him that's kind of like teaching you the ropes and whatever. And the game's based with a famous pair of scissors, which is a play on words. I can't think of what it's called right now, but it's a play on words of Excalibur because it's the best scissor ever.
Okay.
And that's your tool. And you just kind of go through the world. You collect heads. There's I don't want to ruin too much. It's an exceptional game though. The whole thing is a play.
Metrovania like where you have to like each head does something different to progress. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But the whole thing it's actually a play. Like I completed Act 1. I believe there's 7 of them. And I mean the crowd's cheering in the background when you do something. It's like it's unlike anything I've ever seen before.
And
it
you
really
you
is.
thought I wouldn't like this? It sounds like if Tim Schafer did Battle Block Theater.
Yeah. Very close to it.
But it
Which
looks
is right up my alley.
It looks like a better looking Nightmare Before Christmas.
And that's right up my alley. Like I just quoted Tim Schafer.
Because like Studio Japan's really good with using weird colors to make it look really like you remember how Halo Reach looked with all those weird purples and stuff that you just don't see in video games. And the Studio Japan does an exceptional job with that.
They just had an abstract color palette.
Yeah, Atlas is really good with it as well. There's just weird colors that you're not used to seeing with everything. And it's a lot of fun, and the platforming's really, really good, and the enemies are interesting.
Like Periwinkle.
And yeah, it's honestly good for all ages. Like I would let a little kid play this. It's not dirty or
Oh, it's creepy.
there's no swearing. It is a little creepy, but like it's a clean game as well. It's really, really cool.
I want a shot at it when whoever.
We'll throw it around the room. It's a really
So you
really
get
good
circle
game.
jerked around, right?
Like a cheap whore, just throw it around the room.
Yeah, it's a really, really good game though. If you have the opportunity, I'd highly suggest picking it up.
We had to.
It's a sweet game.
She don't care.
So is it time
Playing
for it?
Animal Crossing.
Of course.
Is it time for it?
Dirty, sexy, news.
No, it's not time.
No.
There's only one. Is it time?
News!
No.
News!
No.
Dirty.
Sexy.
News.
All right, moving on. We're gonna go into a report this week that's had the Jason's middle finger up in the air.
Did you hear part 2 of last week?
I didn't know.
Yeah, it's awful.
I told
I have
you.
to watch
What did you do? I didn't hear it
so
this week.
bad.
I did it on
He-
purpose
he
because I
did-
told you I was
yeah,
going to do it.
it sounds-
But then did you hear your voice
Yeah,
afterwards?
he chipmunked me for like 3 seconds. Just when he was talking about chipmunking me, I'm like, go ahead, do it. And he made that in chipmunk voice.
Yeah.
And then, like, 1 minute later, all of a sudden his voice.
Yeah, it was
An accident?
No, he did it on purpose. It sounded fucking awful.
I'm excited to see it now.
Just because I promised that I'd mess with him.
All right.
But when you went news like that's what kind of.
That's what triggered you.
New.
Oh, I was cracking up so hard doing that. It's an inside joke for myself. I don't give a fuck.
Back to it. So this week, the PlayStation 4 was reported to be noticeably faster than the Xbox One with memory reads, with the times of it being 40 to 50% faster.
Fucking pigeons?
Stupid pigeons, yeah. Also, some reports are saying that games are playing up to 10 frames a second better on the PlayStation 4 than the Xbox One. But the PlayStation 1 has been reportedly to have better potential for faster procedural generating and ray tracing.
Xbox One is faster.
For procedural
Potential.
generating and ray
You said
tracing.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Xbox One.
Okay.
It's just too many names these days. Anyway, so
Yeah,
there's a lot of
I heard
give and
this.
take going
I heard
back
this too. I don't know, because I hate when stuff's anonymous, because then any fucking buddy-
Exactly.
This is not anonymous. This was like Edge Magazine said this.
No, the actual
the actual
developers.
developer
Oh,
who
the-
was talking
who-
to it.
The
It got
person.
published in Edge Magazine, I want to say.
It got published everywhere almost, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was another. This
The
guy
source.
says
The source was anonymous.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, the PS4 is powerful. I don't know if I know it's.
You'd be a
the
tech
s-
artist, though. I can guarantee.
The specs clearly indicate that the PS4 will be more powerful, but 50% more powerful. I mean,
Well,
come
for
on.
what it was specifically doing, which was the memory reading of discs, I believe. So like things were loading faster.
But it's like Moss always says too. Like when pieces of equipment are similar, the PS3 was more powerful than the 360 as well.
Yeah,
But you have to cater to the lower common denominator. You have to.
it's true.
So they're going to have to develop for the Xbox One anyway. This
With
will
the
make
memory-
will make no difference except for
This one
exclusives.
actually will, though. The memory reads will that won't actually matter console wise because you're actually just talking about how fast something loads.
So okay, so like this generation, the PS3 is
Terrible with
is
loads.
awful compared to the 360.
Very
You
load
can-
times. Yeah, it's
yeah.
embarrassing.
You can see like in side by side, like
It's
a
embarrassing.
5-second load screen would be like a 3-second load screen on the 360.
NHL 14 is any of the NHL games going back all the way is awful. You're talking about like 90 seconds sometimes for sure.
Ugh.
Yeah, like they've been really
PS1
bad.
era or something.
Yeah, that was for simulating like franchise from like last year. So, but it's a little bit better this year, but same thing. So, what you talking about?
Nothing.
No, I
Cock slap you?
didn't hear what you said.
I said this isn't my pen.
No.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say that? Not make it
So
look
I wasn't trying to
suspicious.
stop the show. I was just
Stopping
talking
the
to
show.
Jason.
It's not the pen you need, but it's the pen you deserve.
Yeah. So even though that
Is that a Batman?
yes,
Yes.
yes, it is. So
I like
even
that.
though that both consoles, will have to be made for the lesser one, memory reads will have no influence on that whatsoever. It's just you're going to get to play faster on the PlayStation.
See, the only thing that will make a difference is, which is this holds true currently as well, is that the PS3 exclusives will look far better than everything else because they're
True.
only developed for the PS3.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But the
Graphically-
thing is, this doesn't affect Xbox One gamers because if you're only getting the Xbox One, you're not going to know that the PS4 makes it look better.
Well,
So who cares?
the way I'm hearing this is not actually going to affect the quality of the games being milled. This is just how they play.
Load speed.
how they play.
Yeah, so this won't actually. Yeah.
The only thing that I could think of hearing about it, and I don't know why, maybe it's because I glanced over and saw the books there, but I was like, sweet, it'll load that next Resident Evil 7 cutscene quicker.
You thank God, right?
Thank God.
Oh my God.
So you can get on that damn helicopter again.
Oh my God. A cutscene to a cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
My God.
My God.
Anyway, we're going to do the next story. Microsoft
Why are you
Is-
looking at me?
is going to take Siri down
I
with
know.
Cortana.
I've been telling everybody about
Dun,
this.
dun.
I'm actually excited about
I
this.
think it'd be cool.
It will be fucking cool. Especially if they get the chick to do the voice.
Yeah, that would help it out a lot.
Like,
So,
look, Tony's rubbing. Oh, I don't give a fuck.
I didn't say anything.
I mean, how many people are gonna actually have? What are they gonna potentially use this on? Just their actual.
They're developing
phones?
for Windows Phone,
Anything
but
Nokia comes out with now?
they did talk about part of the element that they're using is based on the voice recognition from the new software that they're developing for the Kinect.
Mm-hmm.
So it could theoretically down the line have some implications for a console,
Okay.
which would be cool if you could have
Those-
Cortana talk back to you while you're Xbox TV. Cortana's like, "Fuck you,
I'll make you a
Play-
sandwich.
you're playing the game."
Oh, sorry, that's something else.
But consider the only reason I'd want to even mess with this is because the only reason that I use Siri, besides if I'm in the
a
car,
novelty, right?
It is. It's nice if you're in the car. I can just hit the button and say call Tony, and it'll call you. Or I can say
call another Tony.
Or if there's a specific song that I want to hear, I can
Siri.
say the name of the song and it'll play it for me instead of having to search my library for it.
Yeah.
But the novelty is talking shit to it.
Yeah.
And I think it would be.
Shut up, Siri.
And maybe
Cortana.
the more that you piss Cortana off, the more rampancy she gets.
That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, Google came up with one shortly after Siri, and I never used the fucking thing. It works.
Yeah,
it works great.
They incorporated
I
Dragon Speak into theirs, and that's really good software too.
I just don't use it ever. I don't care.
They have that on
Android?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
okay.
2 months after Apple had it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta.
They had to, because as soon as
whole
one
thing
does
is-
something, that the other one has to do it right away, too.
Can you say like text Tony
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
Actually,
That's
if you
the
literally
only
on that one, I
time.
think just
The
hit the
only time I really use it is if I'm driving. To be completely
Is that
honest.
Android? It should be on your keyboard when you type. It's like on the lower right. I'll show you later, dude.
This is working on mine.
Watch,
Let's see, I
like-
thought it was
alright,
just double.
here.
Yeah, next news story.
Yeah, see, mine just comes up with
Text
tapping.
Mosses.
What do you want to say to Maces?
Whore.
Your Maces.
it's Mossies. Can you correct them? Like, can you get them to
You
pronounce
stupid-
it?
I think I can teach her to say it. I don't know yet though. I haven't really messed around with it too much.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah.
All right.
And then it'll ask you what do you want to say, and you say it, and then it'll read it back to you. That's like the only way to get Siri to swear.
She will swear, though? Siri, say bitch.
Text Tony.
Okay.
Are we really doing
Send the
this?
message to Tony Z for you. What would you like it to say?
Fucking whore.
Ready to send it?
Read it back to me. Read it back to me.
So you could have just typed fucking whore by now. This
Yeah,
is why I don't
but
use
it's
it.
fun. It's fun to have her say it.
Your message to Tony Z says, fucking whore. What would you like to send? Cancel.
Yes.
Send.
So that's literally the
The whole
novelty of
point.
it. Yeah, it's just to get her to say funny shit.
Okay. Next story.
More snooze. It's sexy news. Got it.
I like it.
Got it.
I like
Good.
it.
Sony is working on a plan so that the PlayStation 4 will not be sold out at launch or through the entire holiday. I'm doing the. Never mind.
They're gonna charge $600 for it. That's how it will not sell out.
I was just gonna say that they're probably just holding back the stock.
No, I
and
know.
That's exactly
yeah,
what they're doing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you don't know what this means because they're required with the retailers to like.
They've already sold those allotments.
Yeah, like maybe you're getting 20 just for easy numbers' sake. Each brick and mortar gets 20 consoles, 18 of which are probably pre-ordered, and then they'll have 2 on the shelves. So if you're not literally the first 2 people in line, literally, I'm turning into Mark.
Literally.
If you're literally
is not
the
an issue by
one,
me.
one of the first 2 people in line without a pre-order, you won't get one.
Black Hawk helicopter with Sony's logo on it. Just drops a shipment.
Fight. Now kiss.
Yeah.
What do they mean by working on a plan?
It's just holding back stock.
No, that wouldn't be working on a plan. They said they're gonna have. Like, so are they hiring another manufacturing?
No, they just want more available for people who didn't pre-order them. They want them to be available. in
They're
stores.
underselling their allocations. So, like for instance, your store, Moss. Sony says
Oh, they're
we
limiting
have
pre-orders.
10, okay,
For
to
you.
give you.
And then they'll
we
send
we
you
really
15.
have 25 sitting in the warehouse.
Okay.
So as soon as you sell out of that 10, we can send you another 10.
Okay. So they're
So on
not
and so
just
forth.
they're not putting them on.
They're not pushing all units out at once.
Okay. I guess if they're certain it's gonna sell out, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just another way of just kind of like instead of having that all at once, just kind of spread it a little bit.
GameStop stores will love this, and then people are gonna constantly coming in, checking it.
Yeah.
GameStop workers will hate this because
Yeah.
they're gonna get calls every
It's gonna
day.
be gone. It's gonna be gone.
So looking forward to it.
Okay, that's okay. That's
50
okay.
calls a day.
Yep.
Do you have any in? Do you have any in? Do you have any in? Can you put them on hold? No. No, I can't.
No, I'm sorry, sir. No.
Okay, that's okay.
First come, first serve.
Next,
More news!
Polyphony.
Polyphony?
I like his better. Say it again.
Polyphony.
Thank you.
No problem.
From now on.
No, I plan on it. That's because actually that's how I originally said it. Like the first time I read their studio name, so I'm just keeping with tradition. Gran Turismo 7 will be out on the PS4 in about a year or two.
And who's making that?
Polyphony. Polyphony.
He's gonna get so mad by the time we run that joke into the ground.
Are they the same people that are making part 5? That's coming out, or 6 that's coming out, right?
They're so full of shit.
Well, they used to be a lot better at pumping games out. Then there was this big thing that turned into an industry-wide joke that was Gran Turismo 5 that got delayed, and then it got delayed.
And had cars from Gran Turismo.
Then they delayed it.
Then it got delayed. Then they delayed it, and then it got delayed again, and then the game finally came out.
I think at one point they ran out of money and they just released it at some point too.
Slapped a
Well,
whole
didn't
bunch
they
of-
Didn't they release like a
Prologue.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prologue goes we were out of money and Sony isn't going to pay us anymore. Please give us some.
No, that's bullshit.
Well, for all we know,
It sounds good. I mean,
maybe they've been working on the PS4 version for years. Since they were probably one of the first companies.
They admitted they were working on this game before Gran Turismo 5 came out. They're like, yeah, of course we're already working on
here's
Gran
some
Turismo
breaking
6.
news. We're working on a FwdCompatible game. That doesn't mean that we've started anything other than stick figure drawings.
And a lot of penises thanks to Jason and Tony.
For all we know, they've got a folder full of pictures of pretty cars. We're working on it.
I believe them.
Somebody start drawing these.
I think by 2015.
Really?
2015.
I think
whose phone was that?
It's mine.
Maybe next year. Maybe 2 years. Well,
7.
I don't know. I think
7
I think
years
it's possible.
Right around the time the PS8 comes out.
I think it's
Gran
possible. 2014 GT.
It's alright, it comes out in 2 days.
7.
Could be sweet.
I'm going to tell you exactly how it's going to. It's Gran Turismo 7 Prologue.
Give us more money, Sony won't pay us again.
They just need to call it that. Like, extended demo that you paid for.
Who's our bullshit checker?
Andrew Dillon.
Okay, hold us to this when it gets announced.
Well,
Are we taking guesses?
Yeah, let's take guesses on this.
For Gran Turismo 7.
Yeah.
What year comes out?
When will it be announced? When will it be released?
Well, it's been announced.
Part
It
7 has been announced?
Yeah, they just announced it.
Okay, it's shown, revealed.
Revealed.
I think the game will
It was
come
mentioned. I wouldn't say this was
Yeah.
announced. I mean,
reveal next year. Coming out 2015.
Mine will be revealed at E3 2015, and it'll come out that year, I believe. Holiday.
I'm very ambitious with this guess. Revealed and released 2015. 2014.
You think it's coming out next year?
Yeah, I believe this story. They said within a year, right?
A year or two.
Year 2.
Oh, or 2.
Revealed at...
Within 2 years from now.
Revealed...
I believe this.
Revealed at E3 2014. Released 2016.
There you go.
Okay, I can see an early 2015
Write that down.
release. Early
I mean,
2015
they've done it
release.
before. Hey, look, the new Gran Turismo.
Kingdom
we don't have a
Hearts
date
won't
yet.
be out till 2015.
I'll
Minimal.
modify mine. I'm staying in the same years. Next year, Gamescom is when it's going to get announced because it's way bigger in Europe than North America. I don't think it'd be an E3 reveal. And still released
E3
2015.
2015 still.
Andrew.
Right.
Write that down.
Write that down.
You need to make a
Make a note.
Microsoft Excel spreadsheet titled
He's got
FwdCompatible
Yeah,
bullshit.
And
then just mark
dumb bets. Keep track of
Ryan Bond had said something about opening up like a Reddit or something for it and just have a running total so people can go and look at it too. He had mentioned
Not
something
bad
like
idea.
that. I'll look into it a little bit more. I'll talk to you, Andrew.
We need a Google Doc or something.
Maybe that's what it was. Google Doc.
Potentially.
Public Google Doc on FwdCompatible. All right.
More news! Valve revealed its family share. It's actually going to let up to 10 people check out anything from your library. And basically, as long as you're okay with them having it, you can have as long as it needs.
I heard, correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but I heard this actually kind of sucks. Like, the way I understand it is if you have game like B and you want to lend me game B, if you lend me game B, if you go, it's like, I know we can't play the same
Oh
game.
my God,
at
you're
the
so
same time.
confusing. No.
We can't play the same game at the same time, but what I understand is, if you lend me game B, you can't even play game C until if I'm playing game B.
No, it's just game.
That's what
What'll
I read
happen is
about
if
this.
he logs on to game C, you get kicked out of his account. It's
Out of
still
game B.
It's still his account.
So he's not really
You
lending
get a-
me the game.
you
He's
get
really
a-
lending me his account in a way.
Yeah,
In a way, yeah.
which you can already do.
Right. So is this anything new?
They're just
Okay.
making.
They're allowing it
They're just.
now.
Yeah, they're not.
'Cause I
You
think
don't have
against-
to jump through any loopholes. Like Mark could just give me his login and password, and I could just go home and play as Mark.
See, what I think they should do is you should literally just be able.
Don't finger my pad.
You should literally be able
You're gonna break it.
to
You should
lend the
literally
game.
do what?
Be able to digitally lend a game to somebody.
That's
Where-
literally the best idea I've heard all day.
When Microsoft initially announced this,
that-
they
that-
literally want no. All right, they wanted to. That was going to be their ability. You could have both been on together. You couldn't play game B together. But if I lent Mark game B, I could play game C.
Yeah, that's how
What
should
it
be.
does is
Then
actually,
Steam's like, oh shit, let's not let them do this. They came out with one way faster, and now Xbox One might not even have theirs anymore because it got taken away during their online reversal policy.
I thought it came back.
came
It came back.
They did a 180.
they did 180 too.
Okay, good.
Meaning
Well, if they
it was
do-
a
Wait.
Are you
U-turn.
sure?
I think they did a U-turn.
If they did a 180 and then another 180,
They're just facing the same
they
direction.
did a 360.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, but so Steam's got it out quicker.
What they're gonna do, from what
That's
I
what
was
she said.
explained, is that they're actually going to basically, hey, you have 5 minutes to get out of here, basically, and then it'll come up
You
with
got
like
5 minutes to get the fuck out.
but it'll actually come
Countdown
up
in the corner.
with a buy screen, so you can buy it and keep playing. Actually,
Okay.
but I mean, this is still a good idea for a bunch of things that
I
you
would
know.
have preferred if they would have done it how like Kindle does, where like you can just borrow it to somebody, let them play it,
Yeah.
and then
Like,
Yeah.
like
it's blocked
Jason.
out for you for that time.
Jason will make out like a bastard with this because, like, I have like 100 and some odd games, and I'll just give him my account, and I'm never on Steam.
Well,
And he's got 4 games,
that
so
would-
now he has like 100 and something in 4.
Plus, I have 170, so you have another 170.
that would imply that I'd have to play something on Steam.
Yeah.
Which is, like, I own a ton of games. I'm just never on it. I keep buying those bundles. I'm like, ooh, $3 for 9 games. Hell yeah. And I keep clicking, and I never play them.
One day,
Humble
when you
bundle,
retire,
humble
you'll have a ton of crap to play
It'll
for
be all
40
outdated.
years.
It'll be lost on a
Fo-
fucking.
Yeah.
Steam won't exist.
Don't you say that.
You'll turn to Steam.
More news! Target is launching its own streaming software. You hear about this?
I did.
It's weird. They said it's going to be coming out onto 360, iOS, Android, Roku, PCs, and Schmacks.
Do we really need another fucking streaming service?
Well, you'll see
What
what
is
they
it?
have. They will have
It's a commercial. That's my
movies
question.
by Disney, Paramount, Sony, Fox, Warner Brothers, Universal, Lionsgate, as well as TV shows from ABC, ABC, AMC, CBS, the CW, FX, HBO, the WB, NBC, Showtime, and next day episodes. This will not require a subscription. You'll have to buy each episode on its own.
So
see,
iTunes
people-
or Amazon.
That's exactly
already.
what it is.
Exactly.
People are like, oh, this is like not even as good as Netflix. I don't understand why they're comparing it to Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix is a subscription service
You
where
get
they
everything.
provide you the content. This is just a means to buy television
This
episodes.
is an Apple TV.
Which,
This is dumb because like
if they don't,
they're like, ooh,
Amazon's
they're
what,
like
$1.99 for an episode
Yeah.
or something like that. So
The
if you're not
same thing
undercutting
as
that,
iTunes is.
yeah, same,
they're,
yeah.
yeah, but they're like, oh, we're coming to Xbox. Xbox has Xbox. What's it called now? Xbox Music or Xbox TV.
There's
It
got a
already
ton
it
of
already
apps.
has next day. Microsoft pays so
Wait,
much
no,
money.
but
They get
It has it to like some movies are fucking 2 weeks before.
exactly what I was gonna say. They're getting content before it's released on DVD with Microsoft.
Yeah.
That's
And this
exactly
thing's
what
going to be
Target's gonna
on
be doing,
Microsoft.
Yeah.
It makes no fucking sense.
No, it's just
And did
another
you see
app to
how
do the
there's,
exact
there's
same
no
thing.
there's no deal with PS3, even
Not yet.
though they have a deal with Sony Columbia to release their movies.
Yeah. There is one additional part to
fucking
this.
retarded.
Is if you are a Red Card member, you do save 10% off of every purchase.
Whoa!
Well, if it
Red
undercuts
Card.
Amazon,
Let me just make it
Moss's
really,
phone is out.
Let me just make it really fucking easy. Pirate it.
everyone's zooming in on that.
Pirate
It's
it.
not just a red card; it's a Target red card.
It is a special one.
Pirate it. It's
I have a red card and you're not letting me in your club.
It's red.
Yeah.
It's
So
stupid.
it's another app in this world of finding TV.
Well, they're trying to
online.
keep up with Walmart, but Walmart's is way better.
Walmart has one too.
I don't even know what the
Walmart.
Walmart
Walmart
do.
also has a feature
Walmart-
where if you go into any Walmart with your disc, they'll turn it into a digital digital.
Oh,
for you.
well, that's cool.
It's like $4. Like if
Whatever.
you come in with a movie. And
No, it's cheaper than that. Yeah,
I
I think it's
wouldn't
two.
watch-
I
I've
think
never-
it's 2 for a DVD and 5 for a Blu-ray.
Yeah, but yeah, they'll literally like
You
if
can do it
got
an
home-
app for $4 from VHS to DVD. I'm just saying.
Can you?
Really?
Yeah.
That's you can literally do that.
Literally.
Fuck did I buy that thing for?
But Walmart's they had their own. Then they went and bought or merged with that Ultraviolet
I hate
and
that service so much.
Cinema Now, so they're all under the same umbrella now.
But none of these are successful.
They,
though, right?
Ultraviolet's
Well,
pretty cool if you could get it to fucking work.
It works great for me.
Mine
mad.
keeps
You just
mine
put a
keeps kicking me out.
Just put a code in.
I know, and it keeps telling me that my fucking shit's invalid
This story is
every
boring me.
single
Let's
time.
move on.
every single time. Your
More
face is boring
snooze!
me. America.
More America! The iPhone 5C and 5S were revealed this week.
It has thumbprint recognition,
Thumb-
which is the greatest
Only
thing.
the 5S.
Only 5S.
That's awesome.
Thumbprint.
Thumbprint. No more like dragging a thing here to here.
And no more having to type in your Apple ID for music, movie, in-app purchases, which is kind of cool.
What if
Nah.
you're wearing gloves?
No, well, they have the special gloves. You can actually go through. You've always had special gloves.
Like if
for
you're a
it, but-
construction worker or something.
Yeah, you get special ones. Yeah. Just-
Or if you're like me, you've already burned a hole in one of your gloves on accident because you're a smoker and you smoke with gloves on.
Just use
So
that
you
one
just
finger.
that one finger. There it goes. Look at I got it to work. We're good.
That's
Don't gotta
awesome.
buy no special gloves. Just
I like
burn a
that.
cigarette hole. in
We're,
it.
we're one step. Back to the Future 2 had this in 2015. We need this for front doors now
Yep.
and everything.
You can already do it for those, but okay.
It needs to be mainstreamed.
Now, I have to give them a little bit of credit because usually it's 2-year-old tech, but
It's only 1 year.
it's competing with like 6 months old tech.
They're catching up.
They're catching up. Like a year and a half. Just
I thought we agreed that we weren't gonna bash it because then it's gonna fucking fuck up.
We're
again.
not bashing it. That's actually giving
that.
it
That's
props.
I'm propping them up.
If you're gonna talk about anything cool from there that would be relevant to what we're talking about, Infinity Blade 3 was announced.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
after being canceled.
No, that was
Developer-
Infinity Blade Dungeons was
Oh.
canceled. It was supposed to be a dungeon crawler.
Then
It was a spin-off.
Yeah.
This is the true sequel to Infinity Blade 2, which is going to wrap up the trilogy, which I didn't even really.
There was a story.
It's a trilogy?
There's a second one.
Go like this on a screen.
I played
Wow, that
2
looks
for
pretty.
about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I still play 1.
I remember I watched you
Yeah.
play it. Yeah.
I still play 1. 2, I was just like, meh.
Did they make any changes to the dimensions of the phone?
No.
5 inches still.
It's
Yeah.
what?
It's the same size.
Same size. Yeah.
5?
Yeah. 5.
The only
I
thing
thought it was 4.
5 changed
yeah.
to 5 actually.
Oh, so it did bump up.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
It's-
is that the 5?
Yeah.
That's not 5 inches. That's 4 inches.
That's what she said.
Well, they measure it based on this
It went
too.
from 3
No,
and
it's
a half.
5 inches.
No, it went from 3.5 to.
It's from there to there. That's how
Yeah,
they
that's
measure.
what they measure by.
Mine's
It's
5.4.
It's angle.
There's no way that's 5. And
Yours
this
is not
5.4.
5.4.
Mine's like a 5.3. Like
That's
it's-
4
look at
inches.
this.
I can prove it's 4 inches.
It's from
Tony,
here to
pull
here,
out your.
maybe. Yeah. Zing zing.
The chubby
I like
checker
it.
app.
I like it.
It's you gotta base it on the corner there though.
It's how they measure televisions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's how they measure
I know.
televisions and whatever it is. Anyway,
Yeah.
This is 4 inches. It used to be 3.5. It jumped to 4.
Okay.
It's 4.5.
It's 4.5.
Yeah.
Check it out.
I was just letting you guys go back and forth. It's 4.5
for the 5C or 5S.
for the 5,
Oh, okay.
and they're keeping the same. It's 4.5.
Yeah, 5 for 5. That just sounds better to me. 5.
The other
$5.
the other cool thing is that with iOS 7, you'll be able to finally have
I saw it. I saw it.
controller support.
Oh, okay, very nice. I had I don't know if you can beta test it, but one of my coworkers already has it.
I can already technically put it on here. The problem is that it would probably brick half my apps.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I'll wait until Wednesday.
My last news story. I've gone months without having to talk about it. It's been glorious.
Looks like
New
I'm
Call of
thumping
Duty
the table.
trailer now features space combat.
What?
Because Earth was boring, and I think half blown up by this point of the series too. So, yeah. So
I watched the new launch trailer. It actually looks really good.
Because they launched
but they
into
always do it
space.
cool.
Oh! No, it actually looks pretty good.
No, yeah, I mean they always make good single player trailers.
I'm not buying Call of Duties anymore.
Me neither.
The last one was
It was the last of them.
This is the last one I'm
Last
gonna
of
buy. I actually was gonna give them one because I said it to myself last year because I didn't like the game, and I was like, I'm done with Call of Duty now. But then I was almost talking myself into buying this one because I wanted to see what the next generation brought to the fold, and then I saw how last generation this next gen game looks, and so there's no selling point. I might check it out again next year, especially because Treyarch's making it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I like them better. Plus, they make the zombie mode. But if it doesn't look really appealing, I really am done with that series.
Are you doing Battlefield?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you decide what platform?
No.
You need to just buy it for
No, Mr. Platform.
No, I'm just buying it for one. I haven't decided.
I literally have like no one else that I know is getting an Xbox One, so
I haven't
I'm relying on you for Call of Duty or for Battlefield.
Well, I got 5 people that are buying Xbox Ones, and I know 20 that are buying PS4s. So I got a decent group for us to play with.
What?
4-inch.
Is it? Whatever.
Yes.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
David Letterman.
That's all the news?
That's all I got for you.
Oh, I got a story.
Oh, yeah?
I have one too that you missed.
That's fine. I
I
just
think-
cut him down to save time.
New Monster Hunter released today in Japan. Monster Hunter 4. I think.
Blocked like crazy numbers.
Well,
Probably.
Capcom announced that they were going to put out 1.5 million physical copies of the game, and retail stores are saying that they might sell out. And this is not counting the massive digital sales the game is doing. I'm going to go
What
out
platform is this for?
for the 3DS.
Yes.
I'm going to say this is probably going to be the biggest launch of a game in the history of Japan. I think it'll sell more.
Is it launch week this upcoming week or last week?
I think it launched like a few hours ago.
Oh, okay.
So was it yesterday in Japan then? Because aren't they a day ahead?
Uh,
So wasn't there Sunday yesterday?
yeah, well, I don't know. I saw the news post go up. There's material going up on Twitter and showing the launch lines were going like 4 or 5 blocks down. Like
Apple people.
yeah,
Just want
yeah.
that crack.
Like,
Crazy people.
Give me that crack.
well, they
I'll be there Friday.
Capcom initially announced that they were going to
what's
put out.
Friday?
I think they were going to put out
Pre-order
400.
day.
It's no pre-orders.
I think they said they were going to put out 400,000 physical copies at launch, but then there was such high pre-order demand that they multiplied it by 4 and said they were going to
Oh,
put
good
out
work,
1.5
everybody.
million out.
Now do that 4 times over.
Like, yeah, that's kind
Good
of a
for
big
them.
deal.
Good for them.
I want to see what 3DS console sales in Japan are going to be for this week. I think,
Be a lot bigger.
yeah.
Did they do a bundle too?
I don't know if
Sure,
there's a bundle. There might be a bundle. There could be a bundle. I don't know if there's a bundle.
There's
I'm
a
making up
possibility.
this
There's a
bundle.
possibility. There's a bundle.
Yeah.
This bundle is a lie.
They might sell like 250,000 units in 1 week of the 3DS just in Japan. But yeah.
There you
News.
go. What was the other one you got?
I forgot who made it, so it's going to make for a poor story. But somebody made the Steam box, but it's not from Steam. It's going to be $500. It uses an Xbox 360 USB controller,
Okay.
and it has an upgradable.
Is this
RAM.
like a legit box or is it somebody like put it together?
It's a legit box that is retailing for $500. It's essentially a miniaturized computer. Off the picture, it looked roughly the size of a GameCube.
Yes.
And it has a couple USB
Okay.
ports
It's
for
like a
a
frag
hard
box.
drive. And
But it's not a complete computer. You still have to buy stuff for it.
the only things you have to buy, it's coming without RAM. It's coming without an operating system because those are upgradable. And it's coming without...
So do you have to do it all by yourself then?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Do what by yourself? Pop in RAM cards? It's
For the average
four
person.
seconds. If you know how to put a USB
Dude,
port in,
hey,
you could put a fucking...
if Tony can
average
install
person.
RAM, okay, and can't post to YouTube,
Yeah. But of course, the Steam Box really. Well, that's the thing. The Steam Box was supposed to be geared towards people who didn't have.
I gotta
big
give him
computer.
credit. When we did the painkiller, I only had to walk him through once how to do MediaFire, and he got it. To post it on the audio file, the MediaFire.
Yeah, I can do stuff and things.
Just not at the same time.
It's called Gig. It's from the company called Gigabyte.
Oh, I know Gigabyte. What did you say? Everyone knows Gigabyte.
Yeah.
I said I didn't remember the company's name.
Everybody knows Gigabyte.
So anyway, here you have to.
They're like those guys over there.
Yeah.
They're like 1,000.
That's actually really good for Gigabyte, though.
It's
That sells well.
They're
Four
like-
USB 3.0
No, I can
ports,
need it, I guess,
HDMI, Ethernet, Blue Jack,
They're
blah
like
blah blah.
1,024 times as big as a megabyte.
Okay, you'll have to provide your own RAM, the hard drive, and the operating system because those are all upgradable.
So basically, you're looking at probably another $200-300, depending on what you get.
200 if you steal Windows.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Not even 150.
Steal Windows.
Just go to Home Depot and steal them.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
You know, I have a Windows problem actually. I need to discuss.
Go to
I have a
Home Depot?
legit copy of Windows.
Pirate Bay, bro.
I do have I have a key and everything.
Everything
Pirate
is
Bay's got-
free $99.
No,
Free
Microsoft
$99.
on their website actually offers downloads to Windows now. Like you can just download it
They don't mind it.
and burn it, and then install it. But
It'll come up
validate
as
the
this
key.
isn't a valid copy. Yeah, that's all my work.
Well, if you have a key, then you can just put your key in. And
yeah.
validate
No,
it.
they're.
I downloaded the
More okay
wrong
with that.
version of Windows 7.
What did you do?
I don't know. There's like 75 different versions of
Like
it.
service pack differences or like 32
Well, there's like professional
bit?
edition, student edition,
Oh,
home
all
edition.
that. Just go with
They're-
professional. It's all.
Well-
I hate how they do that too. It's
The key I have, the legit key
Oh,
I
legit
have
key
doesn't
is
match the
for
version I
that.
have, and now it's gonna like
Throw you
go
back.
out in like 13 days.
oh no! You know what happens? Nothing.
What happens? It just
It takes off the background so it's all black, and then you can put it back. I don't know why it does that.
okay.
Yeah, it's stupid. What is it doing? He just keeps doing it. It's cool.
Is it time?
No.
Oh, it's not time.
It's
This has
social.
been episode 96, part 7, for December 17th, 2012.
Hey.
All right. Oh God. Is it time for?
Well, I guess it's time for...
Hike.
There's no Brian to be that little. What was he doing last week? Oh, good stuff.
It's like the little. You ever hear Animal Crossing?
Yeah.
The dog thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
a
like
lot of-
sim talk almost.
It's a lot of noise.
Simlish.
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 That's all I hear.
Whoop, he's gonna knock over the table again.
No, you better. Don't leave that in there.
Stall!
Blow-
Stall! Don't touch
Blow my
man.
car speakers
Yeah,
almost.
I can't read the questions.
No.
Stall.
Stall, he says.
Hey, I mean the Stall brothers.
I
They're
agree, but
awesome.
yeah, but Jeff was kind of a nerd.
I was talking
Yeah,
about
yeah, that-
Jordan.
I was making up.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
you're talking about hockey
I'm
players.
talking about hockey. The Stall
Okay,
brothers.
I thought we were just making up
Oh,
shit.
Eric
Nick
Stall,
Coots.
Jordan Stall.
Nick.
What's up, Nick?
It's got a two-parter for us.
Alright.
Jared
First,
Stall.
how do you feel about kids playing M-rated games?
You know,
Did anybody see the video
The
that came out
kid-
yesterday, day before?
Kid getting Grand Theft Auto, right?
the 11-year-old getting
11-year-old.
Grand Theft Auto.
yeah, I did. You know,
Fucking
the funny thing
French.
is, my girlfriend and I, we were talking about this like yesterday, actually. And I draw this is my distinction. I'm of the belief that I don't think language matters as much in games these days.
No,
So if I don't think there's much you can say in a game in terms of like verbally that a teenager
Oh,
can't
no,
be exposed
yeah.
to.
It's completely. I think people think their kids are so saintly
I-
still. I mean, if you
I'm
go to
not
school,
gonna. I'm not
you
gonna say a
know,
teenager. I'm gonna look at
younger than that.
12 and under
Well, like
as a kid.
the example I was drawing is we were having a discussion about someone we know was playing. I think it was Call of Duty or Battlefield or something like that, and the game is just it's a war simulator, and it's just guns and all sorts of
Death, blood, guts, yeah, bad.
But then the person's mother heard a swear word while like walking by his bedroom, and they were like, what are you playing? Like, turn that off. Like, you shouldn't be playing stuff like that. And I'm like,
that was the tipping point? Really?
Yeah. Like,
not the shooting people.
So some parents think this way.
I have a similar scenario where I've had parents come in to buy their 9-year-old, I'm not even exaggerating, their 9-year-old San Andreas. Okay. And when they were asking about the content, oh, well, what sexual themes? Because I don't want my kid looking at that. So you're okay with your kid beating and murdering people, but not experiencing sexual content?
It seems backwards. Like
it's something that you should, through natural progression of age and everything, you one way or another, with exception of Angry Andy, you become sexually attracted to someone. You know, whether the same gender, opposite, however it plays out, you know, that's a natural instinct. To run out and rip somebody out of their car and then run them over 30 times is not.
Yeah. I don't think sexual innuendos and stuff, whatever. I think that's fair game at this point in today's society. I don't understand why parents shield kids from that.
Mm-hmm. But violence, blatant violence and murder is okay.
I think it's because they've gotten so used to so many violent games. I think nudity and sex is like the next thing to potentially go, or at least it's just that one thing that people will be like their dividing line of it.
I mean, I get that. I could understand if like the game has graphic scenes of sexual content.
Full Cry 3?
Couldn't tell you.
I denied more kids over Far Cry 3 than I have.
What's in Far Cry 3?
Full blown, like, I shouldn't say full blown, like a topless sex scene that, you know, you were in first person. I literally have denied more.
Well, what's wrong with some titties bouncing near your face?
Well, you don't have to tell a parent that, so if they walk by that scene, I'll get an angry call.
Your kid's going to watch some titties bouncing in his face. Would you rather have him that?
It doesn't look good.
Or run up and stab some fucking dude in the neck.
Yeah.
I'd rather have my kid watching titties bouncing in his face. Or her face. Whatever they choose. Whatever's their thing, you know? It's all good. What's up? Do what you like.
I think...
he's getting all serious.
No, I don't think it matters. I'm like looking at this bigger. Like, content doesn't affect people. Like, I've been watching violent stuff and playing violent stuff since... I was way not age appropriate.
Yeah, I was watching Die Hard as a kid. Totally not age appropriate.
Die Hard 3?
Yeah, and Lethal Weapon.
Tony and I, on our blacklist, really quick, we had a conversation we grew up on horror movies. You know.
Look how they turned out.
Yeah, and I never killed anything. I don't hurt people. I don't rob people. I didn't turn
their sorrows away.
I didn't turn into a bad person. It's on an individual basis. Even if you shield a serial killer until they're 18 and age appropriate to play these games, there's something in their head that is still going to make them a serial killer. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with the media they take in. If I ever have kids, I'm going to let them play whatever they want, whenever they want. My parents did that for me. I turned out okay.
I think
I played Mortal Kombat with all the blood on and shit. I was like 4 or 5 years old.
I don't know if Mortal Kombat compares to like Modern Warfare.
You can't do that with graphics because people did the same crap. There was that one game where you like ran over a skeleton that the church was like protesting in the 70s, and it was like in 8-bit. And then violence is violence is violence. It doesn't matter how realistic it looks.
I do think there's an age cutoff for violence, but I don't think it's 9. Like that's too young.
I personally,
13, okay. But
I'm talking about like 12, 13 is like the age where
I don't understand why there's just
have
this
to be okay with
between
playing
language
anything really.
And like.
I'm of the personal mind of if coming from a retail standpoint, and I apologize if this sounds bad, but when you have a mother who's just coming in to purchase a babysitter for her kid and will buy them anything that they want just so they leave her alone, then it's not okay. Yeah. Okay, my younger cousins spent many summers. They're about 10 years younger than me, so I mean, obviously, I exposed them to quite a bit of the games that I was playing and things like that. And they turned out okay. They're not running out on the streets shooting people and and doing stuff like that. You know, they're not running around as fucking ninjas and trying to throw samurai swords at people.
Ninjas.
Exactly. It's a matter of does your child know how to differentiate reality from
Fantasy.
a video from fantasy. Exactly. You know, can a 5-year-old necessarily differentiate what they're seeing in a video game or on TV as opposed to real life? Maybe not. 9, it depends. You know, if that kid
Yes,
is
they are still wearing depends.
But I mean, if the kid's mature enough to comprehend what they're seeing and understand, then I agree with Tony in that regard. I let them play it because beforehand, you know, you kind of talk to them a little bit and go, all right, you know, this is what you're going to play. This is what to expect. You kind of, you know, you set them up for it. There's a difference. You know, just like with plopping a kid down in front of a TV and letting them watch whatever is on, is if you train your kid to accept kind of the difference, then it's okay.
Right. Well, that's called parenting.
Okay.
But
that's what people really should have a fucking problem with in this
no,
country.
but
is the lack of parenting.
what I think is actually happening is the parent. There's a lot more of the let them have it, let them play what they want.
Yeah.
Unknowing what's actually in the content, and then they see something well down the line, like something stands out, and they're like, "What are you playing?"
Like they walk by and they hear, "Oh fuck," you know, and exactly, they're like, "What are you playing?" Well, you bought it for them.
My first one was Vice City. That was my first truly violent game. Like before that, it was like, you know, Genesis stuff.
ripping a
Mortal
heart
Kombat.
out.
Mortal Kombat. I
That was the
remember the
big one.
exact place that I played it for the first time ever, and my mom stood there
I remember the place
and
I
watched
bought it,
me
too.
play it.
Mm.
She was with me.
Was it Cyber Station?
No, it was.
God, I missed that.
He'll
place.
get this. He'll get this reference. It was a little hot dog stand on Dempster that is now a Subway right in Morton Grove.
Was at Hot Dog Island?
Mm-hmm.
Was it on Dempster and? Oh wait, no, that's not. Okay.
We can get into it, but yeah,
Yes.
it's literally it's right by where the pool is.
Okay.
On Dempster. So,
Okay.
I don't know. To me, I think like it's kind of human nature to personalize yourself as you just kind of think you're smarter than, or you don't give anyone else enough credit. Like a lot of people think other people can't figure simple things out. I think that applies to children as well, where people think they're a lot dumber than they are. Little kids are a lot smarter than adults give them credit for. They just assume they don't understand or get anything.
yeah.
A lot of kids are at very young age are easily able to decipher entertainment from reality. I don't think there's a specific age that it comes to be true, but I think kids get it really young. Younger than any of us think that, like, we're kind of throwing around 9 was the general consensus.
That was the Grand Theft Auto kid, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, the
Oh,
correct
It was
info
about
was
like 11 and under.
So it was
Yeah,
said
I,
9.
I think kids understand it a lot younger than that, like a lot younger than that. That there's a vast difference between what's going on television. They have a more wild imagination
I agree with
that
you.
can run wild, but a kid understands that, like,
A kid understands in certain regards. Also, though, if they have proper parenting.
I don't think it has any. Parenting can do wonders. I'm not, trying to discredit proper parenting. I'm just saying a kid on his own can grasp that at a lot younger of an age than we're giving him credit for.
Individual, it's an individual case. I would disagree. I won't discuss.
That's
it on air.
that's exactly what I'm saying. Is humans tend to think they're smarter than whatever's surrounding them. It's every single human thinks that. They're like, people are idiots. Everybody's a moron. Nobody can do anything. Let me show you how. Everybody just thinks everybody else is an idiot. Nobody gives
that's not
humanity credit.
That's not what I'm debating with you. It's okay.
But it applies directly to what I'm saying.
We got a second part to this. He wants to know if we. Go ahead.
No. Go.
Go ahead.
This is like topic of the week material right here.
No, sorry.
What's part 2?
There you go.
What are you getting mad about?
I'm
dude?
not. I'm not. I'm not.
Piss,
Just
come
read it.
on.
Just read it. Because it might follow up on what you were discussing, so I'll let you. It's right up the top.
Second, do you feel?
First, oh, there. Do you
Yeah.
feel
ratings.
Do you feel ratings should be enforced more harshly? I lost my
Well,
place.
let me start this one. I remember it was a big deal back in 2006 or whatever when Twilight Princess was coming out, and it got the T for teen, and people were like there was like this uproar. This is Zelda. This is Nintendo. They don't make games for kids over 3 months old. Like it's E for everyone. So it's not E for everyone. And
do you remember what made it T?
I don't know. It's just the blood. Yeah.
But if you look at Wind Waker also has animated blood.
Does it?
Yes.
I don't remember.
I'm 99% sure.
I know, Ocarina of Time, didn't they change the color of the blood from red to green?
It was something like that. It was something similar to that with Wind Waker, I believe. It was very faint, like when you'd slash some of the goblins. Like you could see a little...
Moblins.
Moblin, the thing.
Or bokoblins, depending.
I forgot. You better have correct name and pronunciation when you're talking to the dungeon master here.
Yes.
Yeah, I took that in so many bad ways.
Polyphony.
Polygamy?
Whoa. So, where do we stand on stricter
on polygamy?
enforcement of...
That is switched. Stricter enforcing of it. That's never gonna work. Never, ever.
The more you try to restrict people, the more they're gonna turn around and
it's not enforced as is.
It's a liability thing. That's all it is.
The ESRB is the greatest loophole video gaming has ever come up with. If you don't know, the ESRB is a self-formed group to regulate video games by video games. They did it so the government wouldn't get involved. They basically were like, we don't want you to regulate this. We'll regulate it ourselves. And you can go to any GameStop and, I have to apply this every day. You can sell anyone anything as long as someone is over the age of 17 that is there with them, and you let them know that the game is not recommended for that age group. That's it. It's so easy. They did it on purpose.
That's the thing. You need somebody who's 17 to buy it, and that's all the regulation you need.
I can no longer get in trouble as long as somebody's 17. If they hand it off to a younger brother outside of the store, I'm not liable.
Who cares?
There's an interesting story to that personal experience. Because I had a kid come in with his mom to buy Call of Duty, and I informed her what the content was as how we're supposed to. And she's like, no, I don't want you playing this. Kid threw a fucking shit fit in the store. Temper tantrum, throwing himself on the floor. And I can't stand when kids do that. And being in somewhat position of power on the store level, the mom then goes, fine, get the game. I go, actually, ma'am, you said no already. So, legally, I can't sell you this. The kid fucking just, turned white. I'm like, I can make some recommendations for a less graphic game for you. And she bought him the other game. Awesome. It was awesome. She ended up coming back and being a regular shopper because of that. Because I wouldn't let her kid give in to this fucking temper tantrum. It was really cool.
Good parenting, Jason.
The point I was getting at before is if this was actually applied, it'd be like just equate it to liquor, okay? A 21-year-old can go buy liquor and hand it off to somebody who's not 21, but it's illegal, okay? The difference with software is it doesn't matter. As soon as somebody's over 17 can buy anything, and whatever happens to it after that, there's nobody being held accountable for it. That's why the ESRB is brilliant. They kept the government out of regulating their business while making it's all smoke and mirrors. It's not really doing anything. And then I always see it in the back of Game Informer and shit. There's these stupid little ads with this kid oh, Timmy's parents used the ESRB when he was a kid, and now that he's got a kid on the way, he's going to use it on them. No, when we were younger, there was no such fucking thing.
I think there's legitimacy to it a little bit, because it's the standard. That's what people use. People trust it. So, there's no problem.
It works.
If you do have an educated person who is familiar with the way the system works, it can be used as a tool to kind of determine whether a game is appropriate or not.
Hold on, let me just be clear here. Can a 7-year-old come in with money and buy an E for a game?
Yeah.
Okay, it's only games that are M for mature, right? That they can't buy.
Technically, yes.
See here's the other problem with the SRB.
Okay.
You can't card somebody who's not 16. So like a lot of kids will come in and they'll bring up a T, and I go, "How old are you?" They'll go 13. Okay, I can't do anything. They're not a valid.
I think he's heard. Sorry.
That's not good. I think. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well,
He's heard.
it's the same thing with movies. Like, there's a movie can be rated R and 17 or older. I can take a 6-year-old into that movie with me as long as I'm an adult with the kid.
Not just an adult. I think you have to be 21, not 18. Isn't it? To buy tickets?
That was the loophole all the time.
Oh.
It
got me.
I was the one who was the year older than everybody else, so I bought the tickets for everyone. They you can, you have to be a parental guardian and blah blah blah, but theaters would rather have the ticket sales.
Yeah.
As long as they're,
Well, definitely. Why would you take that away?
yeah, as long as they're abiding by the law, quote unquote. Tony's all depressed now. Somebody in his fantasy league got hurt.
All right, let's
No, I
move
don't
on.
think they got hurt.
Next question.
Last question.
Second question, you mean?
Last question. We got 2.
We dragged it out.
Well, this one might be a pretty good one.
Uh-oh.
And I see a pretty good
Read the
discussion
question.
coming from Tony here. No, I'm building up to it.
No
You ready,
reason
Tony?
for the hype.
Yeah.
Well, I want him to I want to make sure that he's
I'm
here.
listening. I'm
He's
listening.
here. Metro Android asked. He said this is more of a topic of discussion than a question. He said, "Can we discuss the balance between creating a new IP and creating a sequel?"
Ooh, let me start with this one.
Go for it.
I'm going to immediately point to Ubisoft here. When they were talking about Watch Dogs, there's a quote out there, this was a few weeks ago, saying they're not willing to invest into a new IP unless it's a game that can become a franchise.
Okay.
And they're actually on the record in saying this. So they're like with like Assassin's Creed.
We want an assured hit.
Yeah, they're basically saying we're willing to invest in a game and lose money on it to market the crap out of it and put all these resources into it, knowing we're going to lose money on it, but thinking we can make money on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or like in Assassin's Creed's case, the 7th, and probably the 35th eventually.
The 97th Call of Duty.
Yeah, but Ubisoft actually came out and said this, and as a gamer, I don't like it because I'm like, I don't even play Assassin's Creed, and I'm just like fatigued by the series.
Mm-hmm. I forgot the statistics, but it and I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it's more costly to launch a new IP than it is to make a sequel.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's just logic, common sense.
But I mean, there was more to it. Like there's a baseline dollar amount, and I can't think of it at the moment.
Even the biggest look at like Last of Us. How is Last of Us doing in sales compared to say Uncharted 3? I don't know offhand. But
I don't pay attention to sales numbers. I don't care that much, but it's selling really well.
Is it like? Do you think it's selling at Uncharted 2 and 3 numbers? It's up there in quality.
It's probably beating them.
I'm gonna check on that. If it is beating him, this is the exception to the rule.
I think Last of Us is a bigger game. I really think it is than the Uncharted trilogy. I liked Uncharted better. I'm a personal fan of it, but I think number-wise, I think The Last of Us will outsell anything that Naughty Dog has ever done before.
Okay, then if that's the case, maybe this is
Bad
a bad example. Yeah.
Different. Switch it up. Well, I don't know what you're trying to get at yet, so use a different example.
Like sequels just sell. Like a game like Heavy Rain. It's a one-off game, not connected to a franchise. It didn't sell that great. But a
No.
game that's significantly worse but is attached to a franchise like...
Sequels always sell better.
What's one of the Assassin's Creed 2 sequels that...
Brotherhood or Revelations?
That were like, right?
Revelations, yeah. He's talking about Revelations.
Brotherhood's not that good either.
Shut up.
Well,
None
yeah.
of them are that good.
2 is supposed to be a good game, right?
2's good.
So it's good.
But-
Brotherhood's good.
What do you think sold better, Heavy Rain or Assassin's Creed Revelation?
Assassin's Creed.
You know,
No, I know exactly what you're saying. Sequels, it's proven. Anything that
got a
says
name
2
attached
or
to
3 or 4 on it will sell better than a new IP.
except in the case of Darksiders 2. What the heck?
Yeah. What was the actual thing though? Like what does he want us to point out?
The balance between a new IP and a sequel.
The reason you're not seeing as many new IPs is because the generation went on so long. When new generations start, typically new engines are built, and people are way more willing to try a new idea when new consoles are released, when a new generation is released, because the install bases are lower and the games are going to sell worse anyway, so they can try to get some of those creative juices flowing. As hardware sales increase throughout the course of the generation, you have to be safer in what you do. The engine's already built. Like with Assassin's Creed, it's all done. You're just reskinning buildings, reskinning characters, and setting up different missions. It's a lot cheaper and a lot easier to do over the course of a 1-year turnaround than it is to create an entire new world with entire new characters that have all new move sets, and maybe as opposed to like run around knifing people like you do in Assassin's Creed, completely converting it to a first-person shooter where you're in this perspective as opposed to that third-person overhead view. It's just cheaper when 80% of it's done for you already. You're just plugging in different stuff. That's why Call of Duty's so easy to turn around all the time. There's that basic engine that already runs really, really well for them at 60 frames a second, and they just plug in new maps and they make a new story, and that's it. Everything's already done. The mechanics are there. The guns are built. The sound is done. They may tweak stuff from iteration to iteration, but it's essentially the same game over and over and over again. That's what they do with Assassin's Creed. Like we were just saying earlier, the sequels are guaranteed to sell better. There's certain games like I think what you were trying to get at, like I'm sure Prototype, that's a bad example because Prototype doesn't sell anything, but even a lesser known game like something like Homefront. Homefront sold really, really well because it came out at a time when nothing else was coming out, but it was a poorly received game. Not many fans. They are making Homefront 2. It's a next-gen game. The guys who made that game already confirmed it. When that comes out, even though Homefront 1 wasn't well received, I'm sure Homefront 2 will sell gangbusters.
You know, the one thing about sequels, though, that I'd argue is, I think Nintendo has always done the sequel thing. That's just their, they don't make new games. But like, sequels didn't seem as big until more recently.
The last 2 generations.
Like when I look back at the NES and Super Nintendo era, there's like 8 or 9 franchises that do sequels. Now it's like any good game gets a sequel. Like 90% of good games now get sequels, where I don't think that was the case back then.
No, it wasn't.
We're on the 3rd Batman game already.
I don't know if that counts. We're on the 27th Batman game if you want to.
Well, I meant like of the new franchise. Gears is another example.
Oh yeah.
Halo.
These are all perfect examples of what I was saying. It's the whole point because like games were not anywhere near as expensive to construct back then. Yeah, the Atari was famous for having 2 or 3 man teams that built entire games in a couple weeks. You just can't do that anymore nowadays. You need a few hundred people, and to sustain 200 people getting a $50,000 a year paychecks, $1,000 every week, you have to be able to pump out games that are either going to sell a ton, or you have to pump them out. If they don't sell as much, you have to keep shelving them out to keep everybody employed. And it's just easier when 80% of the game's made for you.
I think I'm going to walk back on my statement I just made about a minute ago. Can you guys, what do you think is the best-selling game ever that there was only one of it? No sequel or prequel.
Do you know this, or are we guessing?
I have no idea. I can't even think of it. Like
the best-selling game ever that there's never been a sequel to.
Yeah. And let's not count games within the last 2 years because.
Yeah, because they haven't had time. To
Like
make
Last
that
of
one.
Us, for example. Last of Us might be that game. Like, I can't think of a game. Like when I think of the highest selling games, you think of the Marios, you think of the Pokemons, you think of the Call of Duties. It's.
Yeah, they're usually all either a part of some worlds where it's like a spin-off or whatever. And
My gut, even though it is within the last 2 years, so we don't know if it's getting a sequel quite yet or not, would be something like Red Dead Redemption. But even that was technically a spiritual successor to Red Dead Revolver. Even though it's not a sequel, though.
No, but it's set in the same universe.
Because Rockstar games do insanely well.
Yeah.
They really do.
Well, like, if you want to talk about, how about L.A. Noire? That's more of its standalone.
But I don't know how well that game sold.
Yeah.
Noir did pretty good, if I remember correctly.
Because I know, like Grand Theft Auto, but they're sequels. But those things do crazy numbers. Like GTA 5, I'm pretty sure is going to beat out Call of Duty this year. And Red Dead's the only one I can think of that wasn't part of a series. Because Max Payne, they threw out a bunch.
Noir was...
L.A. Noir's the only other one that comes to mind. Because Rockstar games do really well. Maybe... No, because Skyrim's fucking part of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's... I was going to say Perfect Dark, but then I
Perfect.
I don't want to...
People would have had to have
I
bought
want to
that.
pretend that one doesn't exist. But I can't think of it.
I mean, there's parts of longer running series that don't quite... Like, if you take something like this is a terrible example because it's not the best-selling game, but if you look at something like the 007 franchise...
GoldenEye.
They're so different because
Right.
GoldenEye is so unlike... There's third-person shooter James Bonds. There's first-person perspectives.
They're like
there's
Batman. Like
there's
what we were
blends.
talking about.
There's the side-scrolling ones. They're not a true like sequential. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep thinking about that.
Yeah, I
We
know.
should- we should-
we might need to revisit this and do some research. Right.
Are you gonna Google it real quick?
No, I don't know. Bad
How would you even
exactly.
go about Googling that? The highest selling non
You'd have to just look at highest selling games and
non-franchise,
see.
which one never had sequels.
Yeah. In terms of good ones, Heavy Rain comes to mind.
That thing I know sold like
It
around
didn't-
1 million copies.
Yeah, 1 million, 2 million maybe. I'm trying to think of games that were good on the Nintendo 64 or the Super Nintendo or the NES.
That didn't get a sequel.
Brutal Legend.
Like when I think of Nintendo's the worst culprit to this because Nintendo hasn't made a new IP.
Since Pikmin?
Pikmin, yeah. That
Oh,
was very-
Wonderful 101.
Yeah, but that's a third party.
You know what
a
might
second
help?
Party.
Think back
Platinum
to
games.
think back to Pack-ins. If anything didn't get like Wii Sports, but they kind of got one, didn't they?
Wii Sports Resort.
But if they didn't get Wii,
Play,
if
Wii
but if they
Music.
didn't do all that shit, it was Wii Sports. So we got to figure out a Pack-in that didn't have a sequel, or a launch title that everyone bought because
the early
it was
Gran
so
Turismos.
barren. Like with the 60,
Cameo or something.
like with the 64, you only had 2 games to launch. You had Mario 64, and what was the other one?
Pilot Wings.
Yeah, Pilot Wings. Did that ever get a sequel?
Yeah, Pilot Wings Resort. It was a launch title for the 3DS. That one, it
'Cause
went
people-
like 15 years.
Because people just bought shit back then because there was only 2 or 3 games. Like, well, I beat Mario 64. The only other game available is this. I think it just de facto sold
Yeah,
copies.
until they went and fucked it up, I would have said Kid Icarus.
Well, that had a Game Boy one.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. All right, this is
Yeah.
That was
Was-
it.
are we
Post
all
your
set?
comments. Post your.
Yeah. Do you have any ideas? Yeah. And Andrew Dillon, remind us of this if we don't bring it up in 2 or 3 weeks.
Which pretty much we won't.
Yeah, because we'll forget. We suck at everything.
I'm gonna look this up between part
Yeah.
1 and part 2.
All right. Are we all set?
No.
Impoverished question.
That Tony didn't look up, but he was in charge of. Yeah. The
The Impoverished Geek is what franchise that doesn't have a sequel?
See, we don't even know the answer to it, so people can just say whatever they want.
Well, we have to verify.
Maybe we'll just skip it for this one. Or we'll think of one for part 2.
I don't have one. I totally fucking spaced on it. Somebody come up with something.
When did you start reading it off, and then we'll jump into the question. Give you two
Why don't
more
you start
moments.
reading it off? I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. I don't feel good. Blah.
That's fine. Just close it.
Alrighty, you can visit us at FwdCompatible.org. You can like us at Facebook.com/FwdCompatible Podcast. Please follow us on Twitter at FCompatible, not FCCompatible. Like, comment, share, YouTube.com/FwdCompatible. Like, comment, share us on iTunes and Stitcher. We have a PlayStation Network and Xbox Live ID, which is FWD compatible.
I think I kicked you back, so.
We have a Skype name, which is FwdCompatible. Our Steam community group is steamcommunity.com/groups/FWD compatible. If you have any questions, you can email us at FwdCompatiblepodcast@.com.
Also, our review from Our Fair City, which we attended last Sunday, just went live on our website, FwdCompatible.org, about 10
There you
minutes
go.
ago.
About 10 minutes ago. Who knew? Who knew?
Which will be in the past because you're listening to this in the future.
Inception.
Yes. Yes. He's right. He's right.
I am right.
He's right.
So you should go check that out. We saw this awesome show last Sunday? Last Sunday. And it was really cool. So go check out the review to find out a little bit more about it because they have a website and a bunch of episodes you can catch up on.
Yeah, they're like 10 minutes long. They're nice.
Yeah, they're very cool. So we'll have a link for them in the video description. So please check them out.
Now I gotta go write a fucking link in the video description?
Didn't I make them do work? Yep.
man.
Yeah, you do.
God damn it.
Right.
Nobody
to-
will check it. We're at the hour and a half mark. Nobody.
There we go.
Yeah.
Andrew Dillon will, the bullshit checker. He's checking your bullshit.
So, here's the Impoverished Geek question of the week.
We stalled long enough.
Yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog originally had a human girlfriend. What was her name?
There you go.
And where do they send the answer to that to?
You will be sending that to... I was going to give Jason's address just to mess with him, but no. You can email at us.
Don't fuck with the guy who could mess with the audio files and
Yeah, whatever.
figured out how to do all that shit.
What did you...
It's true.
Where do they send it?
He'll check.
You're going to send it to FwdCompatible@.com.
Gmail.com. Because, Tony barking like a dog.
I think if you've been listening
Well,
for a
In
while,
case they don't know that Gmail...
is the derp.
And if you get this right, we'll let you pick your prize out of our prize pool.
Yeah, we have so much shit.
Yeah.
right,
I'll let you know what we
stockpile.
have. Yeah.
Oh.
Let you know.
Stuff.
Well, good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, this has been episode 84, part 1. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.
What was my password for stuff? Why do you have this?